We are previewing Week 10 in college football here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Jeff Grant, sports betting writer for the Bleacher Report. Jeff, the second game I assigned to you, big Pac-12 game, Oregon at USC. USC's a 7.5-point home underdog. The total is 70. Now, USC, I previewed USC's game with the Indian Cowboy last week, and we both liked Arizona as an underdog. USC, they've got a ton of talent on offense, obviously, but they're just overrated on their lines. Here they go up against, one of the best teams in the country, Oregon. I got to think that they're not going to be able to stop Oregon. I'm thinking that the over 70 might have some value, that the Oregon team total over 39 has some value. I mean, just look at what Arizona did to them, and Oregon is kind of a lot like Arizona, except with better athletes. What do you think? You think that Oregon gets a cover here?
This is an extremely, extremely difficult game to handicap. This is the games that you assign me are normally ones where you have one team, a marquee matchup. We've done a lot of ESPN College Game Day games, and you'll have one team that's undefeated, another team kind of coming off a loss, and those are the toughest ones to handicap because of motivational factors. USC was saying all the right things after their first loss of the season against Stanford. Very disappointed, but there was still a chance. Everybody was still talking about that chance that if they ran the table and they had Oregon on the horizon a few weeks down the road, if they would have ran the table and won this game, then they would have been the one-loss team that would have potentially played against an SEC team. This is a bubble burst situation. A lot of people, handicappers in the industry, will talk about a bubble burst situation after the first loss. This is a bubble burst situation for USC with the second loss, and it's even more poignant into the fact that this team, this whole entire program, didn't get to enjoy the postseason for 2 seasons. And all they heard with Matt Barkley coming back in the offseason, that they were pointing to the BCS championship. Not the Rose Bowl, not a bowl game, the BCS championship. But right now, the line is sitting at 7.5, 8, started at 6. That's a pretty high price. The only time that I can remember USC being a home underdog like this is against Stanford last year. And Oregon does not have Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck won that game last year for USC, or for Stanford over USC. USC had them on the ropes. So the only concern, I like Oregon in the game, but my only concern is this is only Oregon's second true road game. So playing him at this price now is a little iffy in my opinion.
All right. I agree with you. That's why I'm thinking I kind of see the game the exact same way as you, and that's why I would lean towards the Oregon team total over as opposed to Oregon minus the points, because their team total over right now where the lines are should be about 39, and they haven't scored under 40 points in any game this year.
I think you're going to get some value in the team total. The weather should be good in Southern California. And another important fact, it's very hard to handicap this game and put a number on this game, because Oregon has yet to have to play a full 60 minutes in a game because they've been blowing out teams.
Very true.
And when I handicapped this team at the beginning of the year, you could easily see how they'd be undefeated. A lot of times it's overrated. Oh, they'll be undefeated when they go into USC. This schedule, you could tell. The only question was their redshirt freshman quarterback. After they put up 50 points in their opening game in the first half, all questions were gone about that. It was like, okay, see you in Southern California. So I think you get some value in playing the Oregon team total because of that factor alone. And also, before this season, Oregon was known as a second-half team. They weren't known as the fastest starting team. In the first quarter, they would struggle to get going, and then it was just full-bore offensive supremacy. But they are getting going quick. And now you have USC in this bubble burst situation. I think you're in the right, and I think I'm going to play the Oregon team total in this game, Peter.
And what about just the over 70 as well? I think that's also a good bet for similar reasons.
I don't necessarily, if you like USC, just for viewers, if you like USC, I think your best play is the under.
Right.
It has to go under if USC is going to win this game or cover the game.
Right.
So from a total perspective, I don't necessarily, because if Oregon covers the spread and wins the game like I expect them to do so, maybe in a fashion that USC just doesn't get going offensively, and Oregon wins, by a significant margin and doesn't go over the total. So I'd be a little careful with that, but I do like the Oregon total.
Okay, great preview once again, Jeff. Thanks. Talk to you again next week.